The Five Nights at Freddy's movie is a dream come true for many fans. I mean, for crying out loud, it's been in development since 2015 and never got any news released about its production. Even though it was originally supposed to be a Warner Brothers film and went through many different studios' hands, it's being made by Blumhouse, the same people who produced the recent movie Megan, and are also currently working on a new series of Exorcist films, so they know horror. Now that the trailers have been released, it's finally sinking in that this movie is actually going to happen. On October 27th of this year, we are going to walk into the theater and see the movie that we have been waiting for almost 9 years. That being said, a lot about this movie is still unknown other than the trailer footage, and a couple leaks here and there. I wanted to make a video trying to piece together some of my theories and ideas of what to expect on that fateful day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Also, this script was mostly written before the new trailer came out, though I do touch on some of the topics from the newest trailer. I don't go into too much detail about that trailer because it was released after the script was written. Please enjoy this video. So the first thing that we see in the trailer is our protagonist, Mike Schmidt, and some little girl who is his daughter. Now, this already says some pretty important things about this movie. One, it doesn't follow the main Fnaf timeline or its lore, because in the lore, Mike Schmidt is the alias of Michael Afton, the son of William Afton, who is the main villain in the games. 2. The story will surround Mike trying to protect this little girl, Abby. Mike's main goal in the movie is to protect Abby from the animatronics and William. I think that in this movie, Mike is clearly having some financial trouble. It follows a similar story to Mrs. Doubtfire, if you've ever seen that old movie. It has Robin Williams. Basically, Robin's character, Daniel, has a divorce with his wife, Miranda, and because he doesn't have a stable job, he could lose custody of the kids. Maybe it's a similar case here. Mike's ex is going to take Abby unless he gets a stable job soon. Something that really enforces this is this. This is a notice of delinquency. Basically, if you fail to pay the child support, you can have a lot of issues with the law. So, he has to get a job, or he could lose his kid. He asks this man whose name tag says Steve Raglan. However, this is none other than William himself, because we know Matthew Lillard is playing him. I believe that William has changed his identity to hide from the authorities. Now, in my reaction video, I said that this place was huge, might be Phone Guy, or I thought possibly it was another security guard. But as a commenter and subscriber to my channel, Jason VG said, this is still William talking to Mike. This completely threw off my original theory that the phone was edited to make it look like Mike was actually talking to William, but in reality was talking to Phone Guy or another person. The reason I had this theory is that within the lore of FNAF, William wore a spring lock bodysuit to lure the kids in to kill them. But the spring lock had a malfunction causing it to spring lock him, killing him in the process. Or so people thought. But he actually stays alive behind the wall, creating Springtrap. I assumed that this would be the case because we can actually see Springtrap in the trailer. But if Mike talks to him in the trailer, how could he be Springtrap? Well, as Jason pointed out, in the trailer, the suit isn't as damaged as Springtrap is, but rather looks like a suit someone put on. Like how William put it on to kill the kids. So this means that Mike is talking to regular William, who puts the suit on again for some reason to renew his life of crime. Jason also had a theory that Mike is actually William's son like he is in the games, and just doesn't know it yet, and that could be the reason that William lures Mike here. However, I have a few issues with this theory. 1. How would only William know that he's his son? Mike doesn't know. 2. Why would William try to hurt his own son? In the games, it's because he hates Michael. 3. I don't think from a narrative standpoint it makes sense because Mike doesn't know William. So the twist wouldn't work for the reasons that you would need, like the suspense or character development. Why would Mike care about a serial killer dad that he's never even met before? And 4, William knows all his kids, and it's important for his lore that Mike Schmidt is not one of them. Because if Mike is his son, then the bite of 83, the tension between Michael Afton and his father, wouldn't be there because Mike doesn't even know that it's his dad. Then he wasn't part of the bite of 83, and the story doesn't work out. So, while it's an interesting theory, I don't think it holds up as well as their other theories. Unless this is a completely different story with a completely different characters and just similar names. Mike brings Abby to the pizza restaurant so that he can work. And to that I say, why? Like, bro, why would you bring a child to an abandoned pizzeria? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what abandoned building needs security unless it's a dangerous place? Even if there wasn't some murderous animatronics and a psycho killer in the building, why would you bring a kid here? This isn't bring your kid to work day. The only thing that I can think is that Abby snuck in the car and wasn't brought here on purpose. That makes sense because of this line.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
And she's in the back, which means she could have been hiding in the back seat. Either that, or maybe Mike had to bring her here because she had nowhere else to go. So, Mike begins his shift, and a police officer knocks on the door. This is Vanessa. Vanessa is the security guard in Security Breach. I don't know if it's the same character or not, but personally, I think it is, or at least similar to her. She tells Mike about the missing kids and the animatronics and how they are possessed, and I can't help but just get a bad vibe off of her. How does she know so much about this, and why warn him now? How did she even know he was here? She says that the kids went missing in the 80s and were never found. Another thing is, how does Vanessa know that the animatronics are possessed? Like, out of every possible scenario, why is that your conclusion? This again makes me think that she is somehow involved in more than she lets on, either helping William or her own personal agenda. We see the ghosts of the dead kids in the forest with Mike. I think that this is either a hallucination or a dream. Also, the newest trailer also kind of confirms this by saying,
some kids went missing.
What is this?
But then we get to this picture, and I cannot for the life of me figure out this picture. It's a hand-drawn picture of the animatronics and 3 other people. Now, I originally thought it was a Vanessa, but then who would be the others? I thought it could be the missing kids, but there are 5 kids and 4 animatronics, but there's only 3 people in this picture. The only thing I can think is that maybe it's Mike, Abby, and Vanessa, and maybe it's some people that we don't know yet. But then who drew it, and why is this important? So, after seeing the newest trailer, I'm pretty confident that Abby is the one who drew this. You see, in the trailer, Abby sees the animatronics when Mike does, so it would make sense that she would draw herself, Mike, and Vanessa, and the animatronics while bored in the pizzeria. Though, if anyone else has any theories on this, let me know in the comments. After we see 4 people, one of whom has a baseball bat. I wonder if maybe these are either parents of the missing kids or random conspiracy theorists that are trying to figure out what happened to them. I'm assuming that this is before Mike Schmidt and all these people are dead. This is also kind of confirmed in the newest trailer because of these scenes. I think that William Afton is somehow controlling the animatronics, and that's why sometimes the eyes are red. He is guarding the pizzeria to prevent anyone from uncovering his crimes. Now, who is this kid? Is it one of the missing kids? Whoever it is at the same period of time when he sees the other kids, which means it is more than likely an hallucination or some type of haunting. Also, I think that maybe this kid could be the crying child, or at least someone more important to the story in that similar way. Maybe it's a new character. We see a body, and then Vanessa is in the hospital, and Mike sits beside her. I'm assuming that she was attacked by either an animatronic or William himself, and this is when Mike decides to stop William once and for all. As for this scene, I think that this is toward the beginning of the movie, and maybe Vanessa will save him. The new trailer has a new scene that has someone else in this chair, and I wonder if this isn't one of the conspiracy guys, and this is the equivalent of the first game's death scene, where they stuff you in the animatronic suits. In the final scene of the trailer, Abby is in a taxi with Golden Freddy, the taxi driver being none other than frickin' Corey. I did not notice this whenever I first watched it. I actually saw it in a comment section of the trailer, and I was completely shocked when I saw it. One thing that stands out to me is how Golden Freddy has one blue eye, unlike any other iteration before. But also the fact that Golden Freddy is used in the poster next to Abby as well. This makes me think that Golden Freddy is more like a glam rock Freddy then a Golden Freddy, helping Abby escape the dangers that lie in the pizzeria. So, let me sum it all up. I think that Mike is about to lose his kid Abby to his ex, or to go to prison and lose the kid to the government. In a moment of desperation, he accepts the job offer that he originally turned down as a security guard in an abandoned pizzeria, Freddy Fazbear's. He goes to his job, bringing his kid because he can't leave her alone, or that she snuck into the car. He does his job only to find that the animatronics are a bit quirky. Then Vanessa shows up, telling Mike that the animatronics are haunted by the missing kids. I think that maybe Vanessa was either related to one of the kids or one of the theorists, if she is truly a good guy. However, I believe that she is up to something bad, either working with William or just having some other agenda and plan. Mike meets Springtrap, and the backstory is that William killed the kids, probably related to the in-game lore of the crying child dies, and in his grief, he kills the kids. He changed his name so that he could hide in plain sight, and puts on the suit to kill Mike and Abby when they get too close to the truth. Vanessa gets attacked either by William or the animatronic, and Mike swears to stop William and free the souls in the animatronics, and Golden Freddy helps Abby to stay safe and helps Mike. At the end of the movie, William will get spring-locked, turning him into the true Springtrap that we all know. Also, and this is just a wild theory, but I also think that Mike is going to die at the end of this movie. Because the goal here isn't to make Mike the main character, but perhaps a stepping stone to the greater story that they are building for the sequels. Perhaps at the end, we will meet the true Michael Afton, and the journey will truly begin for our purple hero. In all seriousness, I hope you enjoyed this theory video. I'm still relatively new to this franchise. I was introduced in late 2021, and I don't know every little Easter egg or clue. But I am very excited for this movie. Everything about it is so cool, and I think that it will be an incredible movie. If you have any theories or thoughts on my theories, let me know in the comments, and I might make a part 2 at some point. Like and subscribe to make sure not to miss of any of my other videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.